Proposition 3, freedom and responsibility. And this one, some of the themes: we seek advice and acceptance from others, and in doing so, we are not true to ourselves or create our own identity. Rather, our identities are how others see us and the ways that we have lived in order to please others. Many people are scared to be themselves, scared that when they find out who they really are, that they're boring or there's not much to them. So instead, they live how others see them or how others want to see them. And also, they're scared to be themselves for the fact that sometimes the only sense of self they have is the reflection of others' expectations. Okay. And then in this one, also experiencing aloneness gives us the drive to give meaning to life. So after we experience that feeling of isolation, that feeling of aloneness, it drives us to give meaning to life. We are aware that we depend on relationships with others, and we must stand alone. Relationships are built on our own fulfillment, not on the need to please others when we stand alone. And this one also, a theme in this one is doing instead of being. So getting out of your comfort zone instead of just going along with what you've always known, what others have always expected of you, getting out of your comfort zone and doing more for yourself. Proposition 4, the search for meaning. So this one moves on to searching for purpose in one's life. A counselor in this step of the theory would help clients challenge meaning. Something that happens a lot when people challenge meaning or challenge those maybe old values that were never questioned before. They drop them completely without replacing them. And this can cause something called existential vacuum, which is essentially meaninglessness. There's no longer meaning to life because they no longer have those set of values to go by. And Frank created something called logotherapy, which is essentially creating new meaning in one's life. So logotherapy, Frank's theory was that you do not tell clients what meaning is, but tell them that they can create their own meaning and give them the tools and encouragement to do so. Proposition 5. The theory then moves on to anxiety and dealing with anxiety. It theorizes that anxiety is inevitable, and that when we deal or come into contact with the givens of existence, when we think about them, confrontation of these leads to existential anxiety. So the givens of existence would be death, freedom, choice, isolation, and meaninglessness. So we recognize the reality of these, that these do happen. We don't put these in the back of our mind and say, oh no, we don't want to think about death. Instead, we think about it. And this brings us to Proposition 6, which is awareness of death and non-being. Death should not be viewed negatively, but instead thinking about death gives us the drive to live a more fulfilled life, gives more meaning to life, knowing that it can be taken at any minute. And this proposition also theorizes that it is necessary to think about death.